Brian, how the hell are you doing today?
Spenny!
What's up, buddy?
Baby!
It's always hard to line up the audio at the beginning of these because no matter what I say, you just yell something unrelated for the first like 3 or 4 interactions.
You don't know where that's supposed to come in.
No idea.
Oh.
Just gotta guess. Just gotta send it.
Maybe that's what I should just do throughout the beginning of every episode is just try to troll you by like saying things at off pace, off key. Spencer. Well, that's.
Hey, what if I don't make something shitty?
Pew, 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 pew. New sounder alert. We got
just a sounder for us to reflect on at the beginning of this episode.
What if it's a new
the context for that one is incredible.
It's a new what if question.
Between Two Ferns? You ever watch Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis?
I'm familiar.
Have you seen the one where he's interviewing Justin Bieber?
Yes. And he roasts him, right? Isn't that him saying it to Zach where he's like, do you ever think to yourself?
Yeah, he's like, when you go into the studio, do you ever think to yourself,
hey, what if I don't make something shitty?
Fantastic. Truly phenomenal.
Oh, man. I got some weird-ass UFO stories for us today. Or one UFO story for us.
Oh. What started as stories and became one story. Station. Oh,
yes.
What was that?
For our...
alien fucking radio station.
Oh, what up, Bubs? Oh, man. We're creating some new favorites.
But before we get to our alien fucking radio station, what's brought you joy in the last 72 to 96 hours?
Oh, man. I gotta say, it gets harder. It gets harder.
Joy finding or existence?
Well,
or just...
I was...
all of it?
The super homie Joel today referred to it as Groundhog's Day, and I hadn't really thought of it from that lens. But
oh yeah, we don't do anything different ever.
But
anymore.
He's right. It's just Groundhog's Day. We just live inside the movie where you wake your ass up and you do the same shit, and it's a little different, but you're just in the same spot when you wake up the next day, and you're going to be in the same spot for a pretty long time. The
parameters are pretty narrow.
Yes. A lot of guardrails here. A lot of guardrails. So yeah, and I feel like the deeper into this whole jaunt we go, the more Groundhog's Day-y it kind of feels.
So in other words,
we're doomed.
We're doomed. Yes. What I'm saying is I'm having to work harder, particularly because everybody knows I got a bum wheel. I got a leg that doesn't really work. So I'm even further restricted in my activities.
Have you thought about getting one of those like cool back leg wheel things that they give to dogs and then just like running around with on your hands? I thought like something out of a horror movie.
Running around on your hands. I thought you were going to say one of those like knee height razor scooters that they give to people with leg casts instead of crutches.
Oh, where you kneel on it?
Yes.
Isn't that where your leg is all fucked up though? Wouldn't that be extremely painful for you?
It would be really bad. Yeah, that's exactly where it is.
No, don't do that. Get the cool like horror movie dog harness.
Horror movie dog harness. Put it on the list?
I'm just saying if you were running around on your hands, wheeling yourself up to me.
You'd be scared.
I would be scared. Yeah.
I'd be scared.
With the right soundtrack, that shit would be terrifying.
We'd all be scared. Yeah, no, I just my guardrails are more in place because I don't have one of those harnesses. So I don't got a whole lot to report here, bud. I don't got a whole lot to report here.
I got a wheelbarrow you could borrow. You could borrow my barrow if you want.
Can you put me in your barrel?
Sure.
And push me around?
Yeah, definitely.
If I put my feet facing the handles and you kind of stand back while you push, we could probably do 6 feet of distance between our faces.
Sure.
See what I'm saying?
I think so. Like your crotch splayed out towards my face? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I was thinking, yes, exactly like that. I
cool.
I would put my legs
sounds great.
on the handles and you would basically just grab my legs as handles to push Because I'm 6'5",
Wow,
so
that's a
actually,
hell
if
of
you
a
grab
sentence.
my feet by my feet, you'll know you're 6 feet away from me.
I've always wanted to just grab your legs as handles, Ryan. I mean, we might as well start now.
We've been friends for a long time, Spencer.
No time like the present.
We've been friends for a long time. Everyone's looking for ways to find joy, you know?
Sure. So anyway, what's your joy this week?
Yeah, I don't know.
Imaginary wheelbarrow races?
Oh, I got one. I'm in, bro. Are you drinking Baja Blast right now, bro? Is that a Baja Blast?
No, it's this sweet novelty Coors Light cup from St. Patrick's Day that turns
colored
green when it gets cold.
Yeah, but I remember because we've talked about this before, because it doesn't turn like St. Patrick's Day green. It turns like minty ocean icy green.
It's sort of a sickly Baja Blast green.
I legit I think have asked you the question, are you drinking Baja Blast while drinking out of that cup in the past at some point?
Unfortunately, I'm not. I wish I were.
God, Baja Blast would be so cool, but I'm not walking into a
Can you get
Taco
that
Bell.
outside of Taco Bell's?
Can you get it outside of Taco Bell's?
Yes.
Absolutely not. No, that's 100% the point of Baja Blast is you must
a Taco Bell exclusive.
take your ass into a Taco Bell to consume it.
God, how cool would it be to be the guy who's like, I got a Mountain Dew collab lined up when you walk into the Taco Bell corporate offices on a Monday morning?
Bro, can we get a Mountain Dew fucking collab lined up?
Sure. We should probably go like High C Ecto Cooler or something, you know?
Yeah, I suppose. But like a true like what if Halloween orange type vibe.
Sure.
But like, ooh, can it be like a tangerine flavored Mountain Dew or like a peach flavored Mountain Dew? Does anybody know anybody over at Mountain Dew? Because I'm thinking orange color, orange color translated to
because of our
Mountain Dew
branding.
flavor.
Sure.
Yeah. What makes it a true what if you drank Mountain Dew?
You'd be quenched.
Maybe that's the series, bro. It's a series of stories and videos. What if you drank Mountain Dew? And it's just exclusively cool shit keeps happening to you. It's like, look, all you gotta do is get our peach Mountain Dew flavor and cool shit's gonna be happening to you.
And then sometimes, you just sit around and then you have to pee like an hour later.
As soda is wont to make a person do.
Yeah.
I haven't had soda in... It's maybe literally been like a year and a half. That's kind of weird to think about.
Got to get you some Faygo, bud.
Absolutely not.
Get you some Moon Mist.
If I'm gonna,
we should just do like an orange Shasta Moon Mist.
What is a Moon Mist?
It's the Shasta version of Mountain Dew.
Really?
It's their lemon lime soda. Yeah. Not where whatever flavor Mountain Dew is. It's not really lemon lime.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it
Sorta.
lemon lime? I feel like Mountain Dew is basically
it's sour mix,
like electricity flavored.
And it was originally made as a sour mix to put whiskey in.
Mountain Dew was?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. I did not know that.
So yeah, get you some whiskey Mountain Dew going. You'll have a dang party.
Get you some of that good old Mountain Dew.
Did you know that the Tribe and Big Cats was briefly sponsored by Peace Tea, like the competitor to
what?
Fucking Arizona iced tea?
What?
We just sent them a cold email once, and we were like, "Hey,
sometimes
we really want
play
you guys.
Shows.
Yeah, we really want you guys to sponsor us." And then they sent like a couple pallets of that shit to Pete's house.
That fucking rules. Actually, you know what? I do think I remember this vaguely now. Didn't Pete have like a full stock of this in like a closet somewhere or some shit?
Yeah, he had like, I think 2 pallets of it in his garage.
Amazing.
And we would just bring cases of it to shows.
And
so what I'm saying
give it
is
out to people.
It might be as simple as sending a dumb email to someone, because that's all we did.
All right. A Mountain Dew email.
Just putting it on your to-do list.
I'm actually Googling Mountain Dew email and seeing if there's a generic email from Mountain Dew. Contact Mountain Dew. You guys couldn't have made this any easier. Thanks so much.
Is it just info@mountaindew.com?
Email us. Comment or compliment? Kind of. Concern or issue? Okay. General.
I'm concerned that we're not sponsored by them.
I was just gonna say, should we say we have an issue? We take issue with the fact that you're not paying us. General question about a product purchase or order. General question: why are you not sponsoring us? Suggestion or idea for a flavor, package, or advertisement?
There it is.
You should advertise
There
on
it
our
is.
show. Or inquiry about a promotion I saw or participated in.
Nah.
I have an inquiry.
I'd like to participate in one.
I have an inquiry about an advertisement or a promotion we are going to participate in together.
A lack of participation on your side, Mountain Dew.
Suggestion. Packaging.
We've been talking about you on our Ghost podcast for 10 minutes for no reason. Start pulling your own weight, soda company.
Marketing. Do you have a specific product in mind? Yes. Our new...
We have other sponsors, and we've just been talking about Mountain Dew for 10 minutes.
Dude, I'm 100% doing this right now.
Okay, you were supposed to tell me your joy, though.
My joy is that we're going to get sponsored by Mountain Dew, and we're going to get pallets of Mountain Dew shipped to our house.
You said you had one. You said you had one.
Oh, I did have one, which is that I've been updating everyone for a while. I am in the middle of book 7 of the Harry Potter series. I'm almost to the end. And it is bringing me joy, but also sadness because 7th book is very sad for a variety of reasons. But it's also very good. So
and J.K. Rowling just wants everyone to know how stupid she is and hate her more and more every day on the internet.
You know, I was thinking about this the other day, and I think the way that I phrased it was, if I was a billionaire and had bad ideas, I would simply shut up.
Twitter.
I would simply shut my mouth and let other people do the talking and the work.
Yep.
You know, when you live in a...
You don't have to tweet. Chance. You just don't have to.
When you live in a billionaire bubble, you got to just acknowledge that there are probably people out there that are closer to the issues than you are.
See, here's the thing, Ryan. You don't get to be a billionaire by acknowledging other people's thoughts, opinions, or like existence most of the time. There's a fundamental flaw there. If you considered other people's well-being, you would not be a billionaire in the first place.
She's actually one of like few people who I actually can kind of safely say that she's not as like toxic of a climb to billionairehood as everyone else is, because she just made a thing from her own brain that like a shitload of people really, 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 really liked.
I'd love to hear you defend J.K. Rowling more.
I'm not. Look, she's been being real rowdy on the internet and needs to stop having really poor hot takes. And needs to close Twitter.
Rowdy's not the right word.
Disrespectful.
We're getting closer.
Hate-filled.
There we go. There it is.
Dismissive. She's not what's hot in the streets right now at all.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I shouldn't shit on your joy. The audiobooks are brilliant. Just don't look at Twitter until you're done with them.
I fucking had to work so hard to come up with one joy, and Spencer's like, "Yeah, want me to ruin that for you real quick?"
Well, everything's so ruinable.
I hope you know what you're doing.
It's not hard to ruin stuff lately.
Fucking A, crowbar. All right, bud, hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
Well, plan never leave my backyard again is on pace for success.
Are you not? Yeah. Are you gonna not?
Well, it's lovely out there. I have a lot of grass and I have a lot of patio.
Sick.
And by Thursday afternoon, I'll have a cable hookup. So,
you're running cable out to the garage?
Well, yeah. So it like from the alley runs. The cable like already touches the corner of my garage. You just got to split it and run
it down
and put in one outlet. Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Bing, bong, bang. Yeah. So by this weekend, you and I could, we could be playing some blitz in the backyard.
Ooh, sanitize the controllers, bro. Let's go. Let's freaking go, bud.
I got a couple extras. You could just have one.
Actually, you know what? My parents made me pick up all of my like childhood belongings that were in their basement recently. I've got my
64.
I've got my own N64 controller in my house now, bro.
Nice.
Very much so.
Hell yeah. All right. Did you contact Mountain Dew? Can we move on?
So They have a situation here where it says, do you have an image or doc you would like to attach? Choose file. And I feel like I'm going to need to Photoshop a thing together here.
Okay.
So I'm going to pause my submission until I can do that. And I will put on the Instagram the image that I create of our What If podcast Mountain Dew collaboration.
Perfect.
I think that's
Crocs are up next.
totally worth their money. They probably spend hundreds of millions of dollars every year on Mountain Dew ad campaigns. All they got to do is like break us off 10 racks and we'll talk about Mountain Dew for at least a couple months. Like, no question.
Shit, we're halfway there already.
See?
Been talking about them for at least a month so far on this episode.
Yes. This episode is not brought to you by Mountain Dew. Don't drink it until they pay us to tell you to.
UFOs, Ryan.
Where are we
We've
going?
got some UFOs.
When are we going?
We're going to the Berkshires, Massachusetts.
The Berkshires? Sounds rich. I'm in.
In September, Labor Day, 1969.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Also, nice.
Good job, bud. The Berkshires, according to Wikipedia, is a region of rural highlands in western Massachusetts.
Okay.
So it's an area that has a bunch of like little small ass towns that are collectively the Berkshires.
Sure.
Exactly. This is the UFO case that's covered on the most recent or the reboot of Unsolved Mysteries that we discussed briefly like 2 weeks ago or whenever that was.
Oh, dip.
So I dug into it a little more in depth. And there are several people that they talked to in that episode that claim to have had experiences. Most of the stuff outside of the Unsolved Mysteries episode centers around one gentleman named Thomas Reed and his experience.
For a second there, you were like, I dug into it a little bit and I thought you were going to follow that up with, and I solved it.
And I found the aliens.
The Unsolved Mystery. They put it out on Netflix. It was an open call. Hey, this is an Unsolved Mystery, and I solved it.
Yep. There's going to be an update next week with me solving it.
With me on Netflix. Hi, I'm Spencer Orthamus.
Fuck, you're coming down here trying to scoop me up for my skin or my water. I'll fucking fight you.
Yes. I'll fight him.
Yep.
Spencer will go willingly.
So, turns out that the story doesn't start in 1969, as Unsolved Mysteries tells us.
Sure.
It actually starts in 1966.
Okay.
When Thomas Reed first saw a UFO in western Massachusetts.
Yep.
Except, I don't know if it's technically a UFO because he only saw it on the ground. So maybe it's a UGO, an UGO.
And got him.
An unidentified grounded object.
Got him.
He said it looked like a turtle shell, or it was turtle shell shaped. There was no landing gear, no windows. It was just like a big, round, bulbous thing.
Sure.
Hanging out on the ground.
Sure.
He saw it twice more in 1967. And his family owned a restaurant in town, or the only restaurant in town in Sheffield, Massachusetts. And they talked about their experiences because other people in his family also saw this thing or other UFOs. They would talk about it at the restaurant, and most people thought they were weird because other people had not seen UFOs.
It was the turtle everybody was familiar with.
Sure.
Yeah, Betty, you remember the turtle? Oh, yeah, I saw the turtle.
His mom, Nancy Reed, claims to have seen a UFO in 1954. So we have like 15 years of UFO history in the family.
Same turtle or different turtle?
I don't believe it was a grounded turtle.
Got it.
There's not a whole lot of specificity. There are a couple articles about it. I watched an an interview with Thomas where he talks about this stuff, but he doesn't get super detailed about those earlier experiences.
Got it. This family's just like, look, we've seen some shit. Okay.
Yeah, basically.
You don't need to know any more than that or any less than that. We've seen some shit. Okay.
The 1969 one, Thomas, his mom, Nancy, his brother, and their grandma were all driving home from their restaurant that his mom owned at about 9 o'clock p.m. on Labor Day.
Okay.
And they're driving across the Sheffield Bridge, which is a covered wooden bridge.
Cool.
And as they're going under it, they see this really bright light that seems like it's coming from all sides around them. So they can see it coming through like the cracks between the boards on the sides and up from underneath, from like the, whatever, I guess, floorboards or whatever of this bridge.
Sure. Why take the car when you can take the whole bridge? Just rip that bridge out and beam me up, Scotty.
So they come out the other side of the bridge. It goes across a little river, and they see this spherical shaped thing floating or rising up from down by the river. Not like out of the water, but it was down near the water and then was going up above them.
Tight.
And it went up to about 20 feet in the air and then shot down these beams of light. So like it's a sphere. If you imagine there are lights like all around the edge.
Yep.
But they're directional. Like each one can move independently of each other.
Sure. Like little spotlights.
Yeah. And so they're all pointed down, focused at one point on the river, like on the water.
So they're seeing something.
Maybe. Yeah. He said it looked sort of like an ice cream cone with like this cone of lights and then this big ball on top.
Got it. Because it's all centered on one situation. Yep. Although if it's a circle and the lights are shining from the, I guess it depends on the angle. Never mind.
They'd probably have to stick out a little bit from the edge.
Yeah.
Like if it were a strip of lights, no, but if they,
depending on how high up it was, that angle would reduce the higher it is.
Anyway, at this point, he said they felt what he called a pressure change, and everything went quiet. So instead of, you're in a rural outdoor area at night, there are going to be bugs and frogs, and you're along a river. It's going to be loud. Everything's quiet, and they feel this pressure change. This thing is, he says, at least 100 yards across the craft.
Damn, that boy big.
Damn, that boy big.
Thank you.
I love how many syllables Lonzo puts into the word damn.
Damn, that boy big.
It's like 2, but then his voice kind of cracks and it makes it 3.
Wait, is the voice Lonzo or is the voice his trainer? I thought Lonzo was in the video, but his trainer was the one that did the yelling.
No. It's JaVale.
Oh, that's right.
JaVale's like flexing in the mirror, and Lonzo walks up behind him in the mirror says,
"Damn, that boy big."
God, I think OG might be my favorite sounder we've ever had. It's so good.
Anyway, so there's that's such an absurd number if that's accurate.
Yeah.
100 yards across? It's 20 feet up in the air, he says. So this thing is 100 yards across and only 20 feet up. It's going to block out like your entire field of view. 100-yard diameter sphere is enormous.
So just for comparison's sake, a 747 is 250 feet long from nose to tail. So that's the equivalent of...
So it's another 50 feet, and it's a sphere.
And it's 20 feet off the ground. So just barely hovering. That's fucking intense.
Yeah, there's no way that's right. But whatever.
I would be terrified. Or it is, and it's just horrifying.
Sure. Suddenly there's like the whole inside of the car is lit up like daylight. And the sound returns out, like the outdoor natural sound returns.
Yep.
And the UFO is gone. But they're about a mile away from where they were, and it's 3 hours later.
Uh-oh.
And they're in different positions inside the car. Their grandma, who doesn't drive, is now in the driver's seat, and the car is off.
We've got some lost time. We've got some lost time.
They don't remember what happened during those 3 hours, except Thomas recalls being in what looks like an airplane hangar. And he remembers seeing giant ant people.
Oh, I don't remember anything except
except for the giant ant people in the airplane hangar.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. So he was 9 years old at the time, which, you know, might have something to do with it.
Well, yeah.
Or not. Who knows?
I mean,
he said there were lights that looked like fluorescent tubing inside the hangar. And I remember a hallway. The hallway we had seen was circular with a Y configuration to control the flow of traffic. I don't really understand what that means. That's a quote from him.
say that one more time.
The hallway was circular with a Y configuration, almost to control the flow of traffic. He's talking about a hallway inside this hangar that he recalls being in.
That's two different shapes at the same time, my guy.
Yeah, I'm not following that.
Maybe he
one
means
room had a
circular, like it's circular around, but it's a
like
Y.
the hallway is a
as
tube.
in like there's like three different tubes that all run into one central tube location. I don't freaking know.
That's probably right, because the next sentence says this one room had a bowed-in wall that was rounded. So maybe it was like a tunnel.
That's where
kind
the
of situation.
circle tunnel thing is coming from. Yeah.
I have no idea where I was, but I know that what I saw was very different than anything I've seen even today, 50 years later.
Yep.
So they wake up 3 hours later across town or a mile away, and they're in different seats in the car, and it's 3 hours later. He also, there's some really weird stuff in this YouTube. He did an interview with some like internet radio show a couple years ago, and there's
this guy's like still
available on
around and
YouTube.
kicking and talking about this.
Yeah, I mean, he was born in 1960, so he's
right, because he was
math is
only
tough.
9 when it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 60 years old.
What's his name one more time?
Thomas Reed, R-E-E-D. Yep. So he also says he just like said this real quickly and then didn't revisit it, and the host didn't stop him to ask about it. But he said the corn in the field where this thing was seen now grows 17 feet tall.
Cool. That sounds awesome.
17. Now, I don't know what the normal height of corn is, but I'm pretty sure it's not 17.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not 17. I corn detasseled for 3 summers in middle school. Like the tall interrows can definitely get up to like 7 or 8 feet. Like 8 feet is not super abnormal, but you're talking double that.
Corn FAQs from iowacorn.com.
Yes.
I Googled how tall does corn grow? Anywhere from 5 to 12 feet tall.
Yeah. Okay. So I was hitting the average there, I guess.
That's in Iowa. I don't know if it varies by region.
Look, if anybody's going to be proud of how tall their fucking corn grows, it's going to be Iowa. So
it's a shorter season though. You know, maybe like if you go farther south, I don't know.
you know that
Plants
good
are
old
common.
Texan corn.
I don't fucking know anything about agriculture.
I don't
plants-
either. I'm sure there are people who grow corn in Texas.
Under good growing conditions in Iowa, plants are commonly about 8 feet tall by midsummer. Okay, so he's saying
That's
like
my memory.
minimum 5 feet taller than what should be normal.
Wait, I thought you said 13.
The IowaCorn.org says 5 to 12 feet.
And this guy was saying 13.
And, no, he said 17.
Oh, 17. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, why'd you say minimum 5 then? That's a minimum of... Oh, because if you're saying...
17 is 5 more than 12?
Yeah. I thought you were saying from 8. Now I get it.
No. So that seems noteworthy, whether it's because of a UFO or not. Like there should be an explanation for that, I would think.
Right.
Also, the Great Barrington, that's one of the small towns in the Berkshires, Historical Society formally inducted this story in 2015, this UFO story, describing it as, quote, significant and true. After reviewing contemporaneous news coverage, witness statements, and polygraph results. So Thomas Reed took a polygraph test at one point that I guess confirmed he was telling the truth about his experience.
I mean, I will say this is not to shit on anybody's experience, but it, like, I think is relevant that you can believe something happened, and I bet you're going to pass a polygraph if you believe something happened.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean that word for word to the letter of the word. It happened at documentary style, exactly the way you remember it happened, but.
Right. Also, the Historical Society later said, quote, the Historical Society regrets that our words or our decision has been taken out of context.
So
who added that the incident was significant to the town, but the organization should not have focused on one individual. So they basically said, we're not vouching for that weirdo. But this was an important thing to our town, whether it happened the way he says it did or not.
I really like the whole, like, hey, it was real. Hey, about back there when we said it was real.
This guy says it was real, and we should not have encouraged it.
When we said real, what we meant was he said it was real, and we abstained fully from the rest of this conversation.
He has been featured on a bunch of alien shows, including Ancient Aliens.
Sick.
And for about 2 years, there was a monument put up near the bridge where he saw this thing.
Okay.
That was donated by History Channel's Ancient Aliens.
Okay.
And then the city council realized, hey, that's on public land and we don't want this thing there. And kids keep writing graffiti on it, so we're just going to take this thing and throw it in the trash.
Oh, come on. Come on.
So it's not there anymore. Also, there's... I had to do some Googling because the plaque that's on this thing says sponsored International UFO Museum Research Center, Roswell, New Mexico.
Okay.
And Thomas E. Reed. And then underneath it says Miami Models.
What?
So this is saying Thomas Reed of Miami Models? Like that's his title?
As in he's a model for a company called Miami Models?
Rather, quote, Reed eventually left Sheffield before moving to Florida and starting a modeling agency that provided extras for films like Too Fast, Too Furious and Miami Vice.
Hell yeah. This guy living his absolute best life.
I guess he's doing something.
He's doing a lot. He's doing a lot.
So that's that dude, who is usually the like poster child of this incident. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything about him. He says on Unsolved Mysteries, he's pissed that people don't believe him about his wild ass big bug people story.
Sure.
And he said, who the hell are they to question me? I passed the polygraph test. My word is bond and I don't break it for no one.
Okay. Okay.
Thomas Word is Bond Reed over here insists he saw space ants.
He's originally from New York. He's like, hey, look, all right? I fucking saw what I saw, and I saw what I saw, all right? And I don't say something when I see something unless I saw something. You know what I'm saying?
What if they're fucking really dumb? They're really good at space and travel and shit, but other than that, they're dumb as fuck.
This is awesome. I feel like Ricky's hot takes on alien life is very much in line with some of our thoughts.
Oh, it's perfect. It's so perfect.
It's great.
Okay, so there were several other people who claimed to have weird experiences that night in 1969.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes all of this way more interesting.
Right. One of them is a woman named Jane Green, who was driving home just after dark and stops her car because she sees a bunch of lights up ahead in the road and she thinks there's been an accident or something. She pulls over and sees a huge object floating in front of her, like hovering over the road.
Sure.
And she said it was so large that she couldn't see the ends of it, which, as much as I was roasting Thomas's 100 yards across thing, would sort of align.
Yeah, if you were close enough to it, you'd have to do a whole head turny thing to get there.
She also said there were no windows, it didn't make any noise, and within a few seconds of seeing it, it shot straight up, then right, and then over a mountain and out of sight.
All
So
right.
she only saw this thing for a few seconds, but it went from being stopped in the road in front of her to on the other side of a mountain within less than a minute.
Okay. I'm listening.
So that was her experience.
Was she
And
solo?
She says that no, she said she had a friend in the car, but her friend has not talked about it, I guess.
Okay.
So
So my friend totally saw it too.
well, maybe, yeah.
I mean, not to be a dick, but
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could also see not wanting to be the person who like maybe saw something weird 60 years ago.
yeah, I get that
Who
too.
doesn't want to talk about it on TV.
That's fair.
Or like, since it was 60 years ago, like that person might not be around anymore.
Yeah, that's true too.
Because even if you were a kid, you're pretty old now.
Right.
And she was old enough to be like, she was an adult at the time. This woman's in her 80s, I think. So
Yeah. So you could have been
Her-
95.
her friend
or
might be out of here.
not here anymore.
Yeah. Tom Warner, I think we talked briefly about this dude's experience, but he was also 9 in 1969. And he was at his neighbor's house playing with their kid. And he walks over to the window and hears a voice inside his head that says, "You need to go home now."
Uh-oh.
So he tells his neighbor that he's got to go. And he just sprints out the front door.
We out of here!
Hey, man,
And-
there's a voice in my head.
I got to go
See you
home.
later.
So he just sprints out the front door, and they interview his neighbor at the time, who says she looked outside, like went to the front door and looked out and saw him running in place in the front yard
Oh, nope.
for 5 minutes.
Nope. That's way too long to run at
Now-
all. First of all, don't run, guys. It's terrible.
Running for 5 minutes.
running
Terrible
for
idea.
5 minutes is terrible.
Don't ever do it. I'm hoping she's just saying like it was a while and is using 5 minutes as a placeholder, because watching a child run in place for 5 minutes in your front yard is insane.
Totally.
Especially after he just sprinted out your front door without explanation. Tom claims he thought he was running home. His neighbor said he was running in place. He looks over to his left and sees a UFO that shoots a beam of light at him. And suddenly he can't move. So maybe like they're conflating the two of like he was running, then this beam of light hit him and he couldn't move, running in place. I don't know.
Got it.
But his neighbor says she watched him disappear from her front yard in this beam of light.
As in he was like running, poof, gone.
Beam of light. Tom's not there anymore.
Uh-oh. You were literally beamed up, Scotty.
Yes. And he wakes up flat on his back on like the other side of the house. So he ran out the front yard, out the front door of the front yard.
Landed in the backyard.
Wakes up flat on his back in the backyard. There's still a beam of light on him. He can't move. And he hears in his head, quote, "We'll be done in a minute."
You know, can I just say something really quick?
Sure.
One of the things that I really love about these stories, it actually kind of goes back to what fucking Ricky was just saying in that fucking Sounder Man, is like, we all go like, oh yeah, these fucking aliens, they're smart enough to be able to like travel human beings through time and space and fucking fly through different dimensions or through like millions or billions of fucking light years to get here. But when they return you to the place they abducted you from, they missed by the front yard to the backyard. Close
or they
enough.
Put you back in the, or they put you back in the wrong seats in the car.
Exactly. Close enough. Fuck them. We gotta go. We
What if they're fucking really dumb? They're really good at space and travel and shit, but other than that, they're dumb as fuck.
We got our probing in. We had enough alien babies with them. Throw them back into the pit. Close enough.
Maybe it's like, though, if we, if we catch a fish and we're trying to put it back, we're going to be like, yeah, it was about here, right? Because we don't know how they get around.
Yeah.
We don't know their fishy ways. We're just going to put them back about where we found them.
So that's a really good example. But I guess the difference is like, it seems like for all intents and purposes, the aliens are trying to be like, covert and quiet in their activities. So it just seems like a pretty...
Are they, though, if they're just snatching people out of front yards with big beams of light? That's not very covert at all.
Well, like, it's always at night.
That's rather flamboyant.
And they're in, like, other places, and they're trying to, like, zap in, zap out, and, like, they run away a lot. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's...
They run away a lot.
Ladies
aliens,
like...
they're always running from shit.
Ladies like, I saw the UFO, and then it fucking climbed over the mountain, I don't know. It seems like they're trying to be covert.
Yeah, sort of. But like, if you really were, like, you wouldn't take people, and you wouldn't shot. You wouldn't have fuck. What do you need lights on your spaceship for? You navigate all the way here, but you need a big ass searchlight when you.
I'm gonna run into this ding dang planet.
Anyway, he ends up in the backyard, and his neighbor said that he was gone for 7 minutes.
That's post running for 5 minutes?
Correct.
Got it.
So he was paralyzed in the front yard for 5 and then gone for 7, then shows up in the backyard.
You dickered, bud.
Melanie Kirchdorfer.
That's the worst name I ever heard.
That's rude. Melanie or Kirchdorfer, or the two combined?
100%. All of it in one package is the worst name I ever heard.
She was in the car with her parents and her 2 siblings, and they saw a very bright light behind their car. And her dad decides that they as a family are going to chase this thing.
It's the daddest move in history.
Hell yeah.
So dad takes his whole family flying after this UFO.
The fucking thing almost blinded me, Martha. I'm not taking that shit from nobody.
Hell yeah.
So they're chasing this thing down.
Kids,
and
put your
Melanie
belts
says,
on.
quote,
We're going.
69. They probably didn't even have seatbelts yet.
That's true. Kids, get on the floor.
Melanie says, quote, I remember levitating and then being on a ship.
Whoa, okay. That got real quick.
And she said she was in a room full of children and they were disappearing one by one.
Oh, no.
And one of the people that she saw on the ship was Thom Warner, who got taken out of his neighbor's front yard the same night.
Damn. Did they know each other previous to this incident?
No.
How did she know it was Thom Warner then?
Good question. Unsolved Mysteries didn't solve that part.
Did they meet at a conference later and he said, I was in a ship, and she said, I was also in a ship, and then he said, I think I remember you, and she said, I think I remember you too.
Honestly, yes. I'm sure that's how it happened, but they didn't specify.
Got it.
And I couldn't find these people's stories outside of that episode.
Got it.
But so she's on the ship. She sees a bunch of kids. She then wakes up back by the lake, but her family and their car is not there.
Okay.
And she walked home.
Okay.
So there's no explanation about like her family somehow got separated from her and then just went home without her.
Okay.
Like even without a UFO, that's weird to lose a like 8 or 9 year old child and just be like, she'll probably come home.
It's fucking mean is what it is. You're shitty. You're just shitty.
Well, Dad was chasing the UFO when she disappeared.
I mean, there's that.
So that's sort of those are like the only firsthand accounts I could find.
It's a little weird to me that you couldn't find their accounts anywhere other than the Unsolved Mysteries footage.
Well, Thomas Reed is all over the place with his accounts.
But the other ones though don't exist anywhere else.
I mean they might. I couldn't find them. They may exist in like books and things that I wasn't about to pay for.
That's fair.
We could Google Melanie Kirchdorfer real quick. There probably aren't too many of her.
I hope not, because that'd be too many people to have such a sad name.
There's why do you hate that name so much?
I don't know. It just seems like the right thing to do.
Now the whole first page of Google it's about her, but it's all referencing the Unsolved Mysteries episode.
Because everyone's writing episodes about the Unsolved Mysteries content that's coming out right now.
Yeah. And then a YouTube channel that is not her. So there's at least one more Melanie Kirchdorfer out there.
Well.
But the radio station WSBS got a ton of calls about weird shit in the skies that night.
So there's a lot of things that lined up here.
And the Sheffield Police Department fielded multiple reports of round silver aircraft landing in fields.
What? Damn, that's kind of tight.
Which, like, it's 1969. If you saw a round silver ball in a field, like, would you think aircraft? Like, I don't think I even necessarily would now. Even knowing all about UFOs and drones and shit.
Well, what do you mean?
Just like if it's just a ball, like Thomas described this thing as being just a metal sphere, basically. There weren't markings. There weren't like windows. There wasn't landing gear on it. Why would you necessarily report that as aircraft?
Well, I mean, it's in the fucking sky.
Well, the people reported seeing it I guess maybe they watched it land in a field, but it was being reported as like, there's this thing in my field. But I guess if you watched it come out of the sky and land there, then.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I guess I would also say, like, you know, we talk about this period semi-regularly. Like, you're talking about the dead center of the Apollo missions, you know, like.
Yeah.
I mean.
True.
People are seeing silvery metallic
capsules and stuff.
Capsules and balloons and
fair enough.
I don't know. That's like what is probably most rampant in people's minds in the country. So you're probably associating at least generally that aesthetic with aircraft, whether it's in the air or you're seeing it on the ground. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, not spheres. Like sphere is very specific and like not anything that we've created, but I don't know. It seems like I would see people making that leap.
Sure.
Also, you didn't see it get there, and you don't see it like mowing down fucking like, you know, hundreds of yards of cornfield or whatever. You're probably making an assumption that it landed there.
Yeah, fair enough. Great Barrington Police did not have any weird reports from that day, and the radio station, the audio of like they went on air with it, which could sort of muddy the waters around like who was actually seeing stuff and who was here.
See it? I saw it. I saw it too.
Exactly. Especially on a night where like a lot of people are probably out and about. It's the last night of summer, basically.
Yeah.
All this stuff was happening like around or just after dusk. But anyway, those recordings don't exist anymore because they were on tape that got reused.
Damn.
But that's sort of the long and short of it. It's fucking weird how much, I don't know. You just don't have too many UFO reports that have multiple people in the same location on the same day.
Yep.
That aren't like, not necessarily the same location. Like these all happened independently of one another.
Right.
It wasn't like 5 people were standing in one place and saw the same thing go by. Some of these were like miles apart.
Right. This is multiple people on the same day having a similar experience, but not having the same shared experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are parts of it that I'm extremely skeptical of. Like the seeing people on board the UFO thing is just always a step too far for me.
I mean, I wasn't trying to be a dick, but it just seems like what I just said is for sure the most likely or logical thing.
Oh, of course.
To that be is like we got connected after the fact and it was like, I think I remember seeing you. I think I remember seeing you too. And then all of a sudden we've got a really interesting confirming piece of information, but how confirming is it? You know?
Well,
it'd be one thing. It'd be one thing if they had literally never met each other in their lives. And then under interviews after the fact, they were like, yeah, it was fucking wild, man. I met this dude named Thom. What was his name?
Thomas Reed. I don't know why that's so hard.
No, because there was another Thom. There was a Thom Warner. Thom.
That's true. Yes.
What was the other one?
Oh, so yeah, the guys that you were looking for, Thom Warner is the person who
that
said
was the one.
He saw.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. That's why I'm having a problem.
Okay.
Okay. So it'd be way cooler if she was like, yeah, I met this kid Thom. He was 9 years old. He lived in my city too. That's pretty crazy, right? I don't know. Does he exist? He seemed like he was a real kid. And then that same kid was like, yeah, I met this woman or this girl and her name was so-and-so. And then they met in a police station. They were like, yeah, that's the kid I saw on the ship. And they had never met before. Right. That'd be one thing, but it doesn't seem like that's even remotely the case.
And I don't know why, but fucking Thomas Reed's corn growing to 17 feet tall thing made me not believe anything else he said.
I mean, the fact that corn can regularly grow to 12 feet is like 17 is not that crazy, is it?
No, but here's the thing. Either he's just making some shit up because it sounds cool, or he's attributing tall corn to aliens.
I mean,
either way, it's fucking insane.
That is a pretty buck wild like approach to take on things.
There's no way that statement helps your case. And you could tell the way he just tried to like slide it in between two other statements. And he was just like, I'm going to rattle off a list of things that all sound like maybe there's something if you don't think about any of them.
Oh, you don't think there's aliens here? Yeah.
Look at this tall corn.
You seen that big ass corn? You
explain that.
You're gonna look.
Explain that if there's not
corn.
UFOs flying around here.
You're gonna look at that corn and you're gonna look me in my face and you're gonna tell me that there hasn't been aliens here. You see that fucking corn? Look at that corn. you see that? How? You can tell me there hasn't been aliens here. Look at the fucking corn. This fucking guy. I can't fucking deal with these people. You can't look at that corn objectively and understand that there's obviously been aliens here. You fucking Goomba. What's wrong with you?
I like this show. This show is doing a lot of different things.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I think Tom's probably full of shit.
Got him.
Or he saw something weird when he was 9 and it wasn't this.
Got him.
How do everybody so like Thom Warner seems a little bit wacky too. Like I don't want to tell people they don't know their own experiences, but I get the vibe from Thom Reed, like he's got this sort of salesman ass vibe to him.
Sure. Sure.
Like he's not just trying to tell you his experience. He's trying to sell you something.
He's trying to sell you his experience.
Yeah.
And he's been at conferences and on television shows and moved to
Correct.
Florida to start a modeling agency.
Correct. Yeah.
Hey, buddy. Hey, you know what?
But he got some extras in Too Fast, Too Furious.
Too fast for y'all, man. Look, if you're gonna pick a career and to make me believe your statement about
That ain't it.
seeing a UFO, not in the top 10, Playboy. Not in the top 10.
He should have become a farmer, honestly.
Yeah.
Harvest some of that big ass corn.
No, you know what he should have done? He should have become a farmer, and then he should have been like, hey, look, all that shit I said happened, but I retract the shit about the corn, okay? I made big corn on my own. It had no aliens involved. That shit I retract. But everything else, that shit's real.
Or, every night just go lay down in your field, wait for the aliens to come and fucking miracle grow your fields with their laser beams.
Yeah, or if maybe you give it enough miracle grow, that corn's going to just shoot you all the way up,
Ooh, you got a space elevator, Jack and the Beanstalk style.
Preach. Couple few 100,000 feet, just boop, right back up to the ship, man. It's like, boop.
Here.
Beam me up, more like beam me up.
Hell!
Oh, boo.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. That feels like enough for today.
Feels like the best worst pun we could possibly go out on. Let's do it. Thank y'all for listening. We appreciate y'all for being here. Thanks for listening to the show. Go to whatifpodcast.com. There's a store there. You can buy shout outs on the show or fucking mugs or posters or hoodies or whatever you want. Leave us a review on iTunes. We owe you guys a live show. We're going to do it. I promise. It's just going to take a second. But reviews on iTunes help us out a lot, and we very much appreciate it when you go leave them. So please do that. We're at What If Pod on all the socials. We engage with you there regularly because we fucking love you guys. Patreon.com/whatifpodcast. You can get an extra episode of the show every single week. What? 4 episodes a month? Over 100 episodes you've never heard of at patreon.com/whatifpodcast for only $5 a month. That's pretty fucking sweet. Also, you can leave us a voicemail at 612-246-4614. Did I say it right? 612-246-4614. Hi, I did say it right.
Honestly, 3 years in, I still don't remember it.
And our email is
Don't think I ever will.
hi@whatifpodcast.com. You can send us an email there too. I'm out of breath. That's all I got.
What the fuck are you going on about?
All that shit.
Love you. Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.